Hi everyone, welcome back to A Model Recommends. This video should be helpful to quite a lot of people because it's about skincare and makeup for sensitive skin, skin that is irritable, perhaps it's prone to redness, to flakiness. We're going to be talking about the wonderful AMRxDARPHIN Intral range, and then we're going to be looking at some makeup do's and don'ts really for skin that's prone to redness or sensitivity. So we're starting with our skincare before we get cracking on makeup, because that is the most important element of this. And of course, if you're tackling any kind of redness or sensitivity, you're looking for products that have been formulated to calm, to soothe the skin, and to sort of break the cycle of irritation, really. And I've started my skincare routine before doing my makeup with the Intral Redness Relief Soothing Serum, which is a really, really lightweight serum. Look, it's almost watery. So it feels really comfortable going on. There's no stickiness to it. There's no greasiness. I'm just really lightly, not even massaging it in really, I'm sort of patting and stroking it upwards from the centre of my face outwards. And this is for all skin types experiencing any redness or sensitivity or discomfort. It might not be that you classify yourself as having rosacea or really intolerant skin, but products that are nice and calming and soothing are great to have in your arsenal of skincare for when you have those times that it just feels stressed and angsty. And then in with the Intral cream. This is the Redness Relief Recovery Cream. I've been using that for years. It's just a great one to have on hand for if your skin feels tight, uncomfortable, flaky, dry, irritable. It's like an SOS cream, I suppose. And then in with the sunscreen, and this is a great one if you're sensitive and you don't do well with chemical filters, because it's 100% mineral filters and so lightweight. And it's got quite a peachy apricot tint as well. So usually with mineral filters, they leave quite a white cast, but this just helps to knock that back. So it's got quite a peachy tint. Also, the filters leave a really smooth and beautiful base for makeup. So it's actually a great primer as well. So the Intral Environmental Lightweight Shield, SPF 50, UVA and UVB, 100% mineral filters, wheat proteins that help to protect the skin against environmental aggressors, so pollution, anything that could be damaging to the skin, as well as the sun's rays, and just a really nice smooth makeup base. I shall put more information about the AMRxDARPHIN Intral range in the description box below. If you buy 2 products from AMRxDARPHIN, then you get a 50ml cleanser from the Intral range and a 50ml toner for free. That's worth £15. And also, readers and viewers of A Model Recommends get an extra little gift, which is rather lovely. A very dinky bottle of the quite potent 8 Flower Nectar Oil, which is beautiful. So, without further ado, let's go back in time, take all this off, and see how I did this very juicy, glowy, comfortable makeup look for sensitive skin. Now, it's a very sheer skin look, this one. Sometimes I feel like if your skin's very sensitive or irritated, you don't want to pile on loads and loads of makeup. It just doesn't feel comfortable. So this is all about really sheer, comfortable textures and almost emphasising the eyes, a little bit of lips, but mostly the eyes. Loads and loads of mascara, a little bit of smokiness. And I find that with the sheer skin is A, really great if you don't want to be wearing a lot of stuff on your skin, but B, looks very modern and fresh and not too overdone. So that's what we're doing. Now, if you do have any kind of sensitivity, or skin tends to get irritated, or you have any redness, then you want to watch out in your foundation for alcohol. Not all types of alcohol, they're not all bad. Fatty alcohols are okay. They use those as a sort of thickener or emollient, sometimes in face creams and things like that. But denatured alcohol, or just sometimes it's just plain alcohol on the ingredients list, especially quite far up the ingredients list, is maybe something you want to watch out for. And quite often they put it into very lightweight foundations to keep them feeling weightless. But it's often not the best thing if you tend to get redness or sensitivity. So a great one if you have those issues, and this one doesn't have any added fragrance either, is the Bareminerals Complexion Rescue. And this is the Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. I haven't used this in a video for quite a while actually. It's pretty sheer coverage, but you'll see when it goes on that it just leaves the most beautiful sort of glowy, it's like an all-in-one dream this. Just before I pop this on, if you do suffer from redness, I mean, I get a tiny bit round the nose sometimes, but I don't have rosacea. The temptation, if you do have quite serious redness, is just to camouflage it all with very thick and heavy makeup, which can not be the best thing for it, which is why we're going quite lightweight with this makeup. But you can get really good colour correctors. And this is one from Smashbox, and it's green, so it sort of counteracts the redness, takes the redness out of the skin. So you can just target specific areas and then go on in with an all-over Shearer Coverage Base. You don't have to do really high coverage all over. I mean, obviously, if you like that look, then that's great. But again, if you have more sensitive skin or skin that tends to feel uncomfortable, then lots of heavy makeup might not be for you. Hence this recommendation. Now I wear shade 4.5 in this Bareminerals Complexion Rescue, and this is a great one if you're just very low-key with your makeup, or you don't have a lot of time, or you don't like to look like you are wearing very much in the way of makeup. It just looks like really good, healthy, hydrated skin. Now, if you have very oily skin, or if you like your makeup to feel extremely set, this will not be for you because it's got a dewy finish, this one. Now, there's another layer to this base, and that is a liquid bronzer, and this is from the same brand. This is Bareminerals Bare Skin Sheer Sun. And rather than putting on a powder, this is really liquidy. It's liquidy and it looks really real once it's buffed in. So it's not like a bronzer in that, you know, you pop it on under the cheekbones and contour it in and all that malarkey. It's really to buff right into the skin so that it just doesn't look like makeup. So we're talking really subtle textures with this skin. And you can see it's really sheeny, very glowy. And again, no alcohol, no added fragrance. So if those things tend to be a trigger for you with your sensitive skin, you don't need to worry. And then for a little bit of colour, we've got Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge in Fresh Melon. This is for lips and cheeks, but I'm going to do something else with my lips. And again, just a really lovely creamy sheer texture. There's nothing dull on the skin. It's all just blending together. And it feels so comfy. Okay, I've been playing around with this palette from the new Chanel collection. And it's the matte palette in 308. I have it on good authority from my friend Lauren, who has very irritable eyelids, which is a completely different problem, isn't it, from what we're talking about today? But I thought it was slightly relevant. And she can't wear things with shimmer in, interestingly enough. So I thought that going for a really matte eyeshadow in today's video would sort of be in honour of her. But I have been shopping with her before, beauty shopping in Space NK. I remember having a whole conversation about her eyelids, which, you know, we know how to party when we meet. So I'm just taking that across the entire lid. I'm going to take it slightly darker into the crease at the edge. Always making sure that nothing drops below the line between the lower lash line and the end of my eyebrow. So everything stays really lifted and upwards and doesn't get dragged down. Just there, into the crease, and out towards the point. Buff, 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 blend, blend, blend. These brushes are good. Real Techniques, and they're called the Instapop brushes, and they're sort of angled. I don't know, they just feel really good for buffing things in. Loads and loads of mascara. I used this one in a recent video, I think. This is the Dior Pump and Volume, and it's just really, really volumizing. So I'm going to go to town with this. Really, I've said really a lot, but this is the, I suppose the key to the look is just lashes. Lashings of lashes. But, you know, if you're keeping your skin very simple, it's a really nice focal point, isn't it? Just loads and loads of mascara. Does anyone else ever end up getting really carried away when they put mascara on and they start forming one super lash that's just glued together? So it happens to me every single time. I can never find a lash comb. However, I'm just going to wait for this to dry and then I'm going to neaten it up a bit. In the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of brows, just because my brows disappear if I don't have anything on them in comparison to my lashes that I've just done. So just a bit of the usual Benefit Gimme Brow, which is just a sort of volumizing brow gel. I noticed recently that my brows start in two different places. Obviously they start in two different places, but you know what I mean. This one starts further out than that one. And the temptation to start plucking them to even them out is overwhelming. But I know that if I start doing that, it will just be disastrous. So I'm going to take the plunge tonight. I'm not going to do it now because it'll go wrong, you'll all laugh, and it will ruin my video. Okay, look. Quite often this sort of makeup that's not set and not heavy coverage doesn't translate so well on camera because, well, that's why Instagram makeup with those, you know, like drawn on brows and highlighter and, oh, I haven't done highlighter, highlighter and shading and contouring, all of that lip line overlining works really well on camera because it's almost cartoonish and it's exaggerated. And this is just a bit of RMS highlighter, Living Luminizer. It's just really low-key stuff. Don't worry, I haven't finished my eyes yet. I suppose this is the opposite, really, of that sort of overblown Instagram makeup. I can guarantee you that this, in real life, will look beautiful and completely natural, just gorgeous and youthful and glowing, and it just feels nice. Feels supple on the skin. I was going to go in with, I've started wearing lip liner quite a lot, just because it does help make my lips look just slightly more shapely, where they're started to disappear at the edges. However, I'm really just going to sketch it in and then pat. This is not an obvious lip line, and you can completely skip this if you like to. Also, something that I thought of whilst I was trying to repair my monolash situation. It might seem counterintuitive to you if you have redness, it's patches of redness, or if you have full rosacea, to be using blusher, putting a flush back into the face. But it is a really pretty look. I mean, I know we've got some bronze that's buffed into the skin, but that's almost disappeared into the skin. There's no obvious bronzer. And so it sits very nicely on top of the Complexion Rescue Bareminerals. However, I completely understand if you want to leave that out and instead go for more of a bronzed look. You might want to use a powder bronzer. I just think it's a shame because all the layers are very sheer and very juicy. But you know, adapt it to suit. Another thing that you can do is to mix the self-tanning drops into your skincare the night before. That tends to sort of take the edge off any unevenness of skin tone that you might have. It doesn't cover it up, it doesn't conceal it, but it just knocks it back a bit. So that's another thing to think about if that is a concern of yours. So a little bit of a sketch in with the lip liner, and this is, I've featured this loads recently. It's a really good match for my lips. Clinique Quick Liner for Lips Intense. Stays on really well, and this is shade 01. And then I've got 3 possible options here. I've got one of my favourite all-time ever lipsticks, which is Beige Pop from Clinique, which I'll tap it on and show you, why not? You see that there, it's got a slight pinkishness to it. It's really pretty actually. However, recently I've become quite fond of this little beauty. And this is perhaps slightly too matte. And this is Pink Sand, and it's from Bobbi Brown. And that's really pretty too. Should we go with Pink Sand? I'm not going full on in with this lipstick. I am patting it in. So it's barely there. And a little bit hazy at the edges. So it's nothing too precise. It's a bit hazy. Everything looks nice and natural. I mean, Beige Pop would look slightly more natural than this one. I just love the pinkish tone to it. And I'm wearing a pink jumper. And I'm just shallow like that, matching things in that way. However, I can highly recommend the Clinique Colourpop lipsticks. They've got a primer built in. So if you find that your lips sometimes don't do well with lipsticks because they're a little bit cracked or bumpy or what have you, then having a built-in primer just makes them look really smooth. But I haven't gone for that, so that's confusing, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. So there we go, Juicy Lucy. Very sheer, comfortable textures if you have sensitive skin, if you have skin that's prone to irritation, to redness. You know, there's nothing in this base that's going to aggravate or trigger off any kind of reaction, and all the textures are very supple and silky feeling and just very comfortable on the skin. There's no dryness, there's no sort of powdery tightness. So I hope that some of you find this useful, and remember to check out the information about the DARPHIN Intral range in the description box below. If you buy 2 products from DARPHIN, then you get the 50ml cleanser and 50ml toner from the Intral range, and they are worth £15. And also my readers and viewers get another little special gift on top of that, which is a really cute teeny version of the 8 Flower Nectar elixir, the beautiful facial oil. So that's a gorgeous one to layer up into your nighttime routine. So hope that you've enjoyed that. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and I shall see you next time.